Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Realm of Ori. In this video, we will continue with Volume 15, Chapter 4, The 8 Gates, Part 7. And before we start, this video contains spoilers from the Tensura Light Novel. And by the way guys, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon to get notifications for upcoming videos. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Right now, Souei was in a good mood. He had been secretly watching Rimuru's duel, and Rimuru had won big victory. I'm fortunate to be able to see such a battle. With both Veldora and Velgrund as opponents, Rimuru appears to have the upper hand, and completes the evolution by devouring Veldora. It's impossible to discern how powerful Rimuru has become from the outside, and even if you go via the Soul Corridor, Souei understands it's still undetectable. In this case, there should be more to the curiosity than Souei's desire alone. At the very least, Diablo had remained silent until the very end, and was now staying by Rimuru's side. Diablo made a claim that was understandable and impossible to protest about openly, despite the idea in his heart. There's Testarossa, to put it mildly. Souei had conflicting feelings about staying despite her bland declaration. Souei didn't object because he understood her thoughts. Velgrund changed to a guarded Rudra-dominated move from the midst of the conflict with Rimuru, sensing the bad circumstances on his side, and the other 7 gates had no guarantee they wouldn't be smashed. It's unlikely that the cunning Testarossa didn't notice the potential without mentioning it, implying that she believed she could handle things on her own. I'm not sure she could have beaten Lord Velgrund, but it's a lot of confidence. Souei accurately understood Testarossa's thoughts. Souei grew jealousy. A small bit Souei hoped the others would understand, because Testarossa guessed she wanted to confront Velgrund again, an opponent that Souei couldn't beat. Testarossa's thoughts and actions were also understood by Benimaru. To ask why, it's because Benimaru cannot defeat Velgrund either. When battling Velgrund, who may be termed the fire inflammation god, Benimaru's fire inflammation attack was practically ineffective, and the attack might not even be able to buy time, but Testarossa was better fit for this duty. If Souei faced Velgrund, he would not be able to last more than a few seconds, and if he faced Velgrund, who could control space, all of Souei's abilities would be rendered meaningless. Knowing that, Souei didn't have much fun, and even if he didn't, he had to support Testarossa. Souei, who had been in a happy mood due to Rimuru's triumph but was dissatisfied due to his own lack of strength, was suddenly fully involved in his task with a mixed emotion. Rimuru's instruction to kill the enemy was absolute, and Souei would not be confused if he followed it. First, Souei thought it was only natural to remove the enemy. I need to get back to Lord Rimuru as soon as possible. Souei obeyed his own high-spirited heart and burrowed into the door as his loyalty to Rimuru grew stronger. He has captured the aura of his opponent. Souei dashed at the enemy without hesitation. The interior was transformed into a gladiatorial arena regardless of which door was opened. The target object stood in the middle of it all. Are you, my match? Gardner, in the 4th sequence of the single digits, is the man there, proudly beaming. Since you're here, at the very least introduce yourself. My name is Gardner, and I'm assuming the position of guardianship of His Majesty Rudra, which should be brief, so let me have a good time in the meantime. Gardner regarded Souei as if he were a snake, pondering ways to tease his opponent, his latent sadistic interest perplexing him. Souei, on the other hand, was silent. He sighed, slightly depleted of time. Will taking care of a guy like you eat up all of my valuable time? What exactly did you say? My name is Souei, and if you surrender, I will accept it, but you don't mean it, do you? Certainly. Souei, I heard you're copying the Intelligence Bureau in the Land of Monsters, according to Kondo's investigation, is that correct? To put it another way, I'm not very adept in direct combat. When Souei provoked him, such a superficial tactic had lost its meaning. Don't talk nonsense, let's get this party started. Souei had already seen Gardner's strength in this short time, but Gardner hadn't noticed and was continuing slicing indiscriminately at Souei. Gardner's weapon was a green dragon blade carried in both hands, a thicker, larger blade than a long sword, difficult to learn yet powerful, and Gardner's smooth, continuous attack was as lovely as a dance. Even when combined with Gardner's better talents, these strikes were ineffective against Souei. Gardner's green dragon blade sliced open as Souei plunged into the shadows with a grunt, since the inertial body balance was a little off. Souei wasn't going to let it go, and a shot from the shadow at Gardner's feet hit its prey in the chest. Gardner was spitting blood on the ground. Souei emerged from the shadow after stabbing Gardner in the heart with a Walter P99 miniature pistol, a test piece made by Kaijin for Rimuru, which Souei had scavenged and practiced firing from shadow space, the result of which was a blow through Gardner's heart. Well, that was boring. Whatever kind of strongman, launching an attack at a time of carelessness may end his opponent with a single blow. Souei, who insisted on this kind of claim, knew that this approach would not work against some opponents. Gardner, on the other hand, didn't seem to fit that description, and the plan worked when it was fantastic. Gardner was doomed to die with all the anomalies linked, and even if it wasn't Souei, the others would undoubtedly make that determination. But you're careless. The scream resounded behind Souei, who was approaching the gate, and before the sound could be heard, Souei's had been sliced off, and the green dragon blade had drilled out of its chest. That's a pain in the. It's fine to kill a trickster like that, but winning in a flash isn't fun. Gardner stood there with his hands and feet intact as the body fell to the ground. This was due to some particular power Gardner had been given. Gardner was given the power of substitution, parallel existence, by Rudra. Gardner enjoys tormenting opponents who pled for compassion, and fighting in this style can culminate in the opponent being slain without the opportunity to beg for mercy. Hey, do you think you're still alive? That's not possible. Gardner hadn't forgotten his objective to make sure he killed the invader, therefore he had to double-check if Souei was indeed dead, despite the muttering. Souei pierced the heart of the decapitated body, which disintegrated into a black fog and vanished. Gardner's takedown attempt results in the outcome. Being bait is enough. You have far too much power to waste. You die if you don't understand. Souei then activated his special ability, the Hidden One. Gardner then makes his final deadly move. What do you think about this? Either one is my own body, and I'll drag you along with me as I die. It was fruitless to take down just one of the many other bodies, who attacked collectively, each one being its own body. Gardner launched the ultimate strike on the parallel existence by consuming life. It could only be done in a split second, making it difficult for Souei, who was about to deliver a lethal blow with the Hidden One, to avoid. The final blow was the most hazardous, and it was basic sense to be awake and never be careless, but for Souei to grasp this and yet be in a predicament was a disgrace. Please pardon me, Lord Rimuru. I'll survive, and the atonement will stay after. Gardner's final attack was being prepared for by Souei, and since death was not to be accepted, he had to survive it. However, at this stage, don't be sorry, I'll give you strength, oh Souei. Souei got the sensation of hearing something extraordinary. So be it, that the name of the authority bestowed upon you be. Souei comprehended what this power was as if born with it, and at the same moment, he realized that his clone body had changed into a other body, in a million times longer consciousness. This also implies that Souei now has a parallel existence. Ha ha ha, I'm going to die as well, but this guy deserved to die. Is that the last thing you said? How is that even possible? You were without a doubt the one who. That's correct, but this is my own body, so please die if you understand. 1,000 hands. Souei extended out and became a swarm of 1,000 wrists, catching Gardner. This was the result of one of the powers bestowed upon Souei by the Shadow Moon King Tsukuyomi. If you pair it with parallel existence, you can attack with the shadow that generates multiple hands. Gardner screamed in agony, his body immobilized. Gardner's life was ended by Souei's one-hit kill. Lord Velgrand has been beaten by Lord Rimuru, and that Granite, Benamaru, who is greater than me, has gone to him, I'm afraid, as I have. It's none of your business anymore. Gardner was swallowed up by the shadow and faded away as a result of Souei's comments.